In 1973, a fresh-faced priest named Sergio Gutierrez Benitez arrived at a rundown church. There, he founded an orphanage called La Casa Hogar de los Cachorros de Fray Tormenta, which would eventually become a sanctuary for 270 orphan children. Running an orphanage was not easy for Benitez, and once he settled down, money became an issue. As he struggled to support the kids, he decided on a rather radical means of raising money. That's when Fray Tormenta, the wrestling champion, came to life. Sporting a red and yellow lucha libre mask that he designed himself, Benitez would train and fight to earn money, even being admitted into the Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, all while still attending daily mass. Now, why did I tell you this story? Because as unbelievable as it may sound, it inspired a fantastic film, Nacho Libre. Starring Jack Black and featuring Ana de la Reguera, the movie closely follows the true events of a church priest turned luchador fighting to raise money for his orphanage. And I think it's amazing. Probably my favorite Jack Black film, right above Kung Fu Panda 2. I can't quite explain why I love it so much. Maybe it's the humor, or the nostalgia from watching it growing up, or perhaps it's Jack Black's great accent. See what it tastes like. I'm not entirely too sure, which is why I'm going to break it down for you in today's video. So let's dive in and recount this beautiful tale. The story begins with Ignacio, a cook of the monastery orphanage, as he completes different tasks, showing how close and caring he is to the orphans. Alongside this, a new nun, Sister Encarnacion, joins the church. On a trip to retrieve nachos for the orphanage, Ignacio is attacked and robbed by a homeless Mexican dude. On his way, he encounters a crowd surrounding a famous luchador, Ramses. This experience leads to a conversation between Nacho and Sister Encarnacion, as he reveals about growing up an orphan and reviewing his current position at the orphanage, which allows for Ignacio to share his wish of sometimes wanting to receive the praise a famous luchador would get. The sister reminds him that it is forbidden. The next morning, while serving food, another priest shares his disgust for Ignacio's food.
Do you not realize I have had diarrhea since Easter?
Which frustrates Ignacio as he finally decides that he is tired of doing the same old chores. This whole time has been building up to Nacho deciding to realize his true dream of becoming a luchador. From not being able to properly feed the orphans to suppressing his true passion, he returns to the same place he got robbed to team up with the homeless man named Steven. He manages to convince Steven to join him in their first fight with a plan to win money. And together they fight as Nacho and El Esqueleto. To avoid the church from finding out, Ignacio wears a homemade suit to compete and hide his identity. The first match begins, and of course with no proper training, they end up losing. Luckily, they still end up making money and are invited back based on how much they were liked by the crowd. With this bit of cash, we immediately see Ignacio going towards spending it on feeding the orphans better, which would show the true intentions of his character, that his desires are driven by caring for those close to him first and wanting praise second. Soon enough, Ignacio manages to create a better suit as he prepares for more fights, and an orphan finds out his secret. In the next fight, Ignacio and Steven are completely beaten once again by these little bastards. Having earned more money, we get a montage of this duo spending their money, with Ignacio acquiring a new fit, which makes sense, gotta treat yourself sometimes. The reasoning for this being his plan to ask out Sister Encarnacion. Without realizing a plan to impress her, Steven recommends pretending to jump him with a group of friends, but in turn, letting him win. This of course ends badly as Ignacio mistakes some strangers for being with Steven, and actually gets jumped. Bro, look at his face, how can you not laugh? Ignacio shares that he is tired of losing, that making money is great, but that he would actually like to win a match for once, instead of being constantly humiliated. Steven tries to help Ignacio by telling him about legend of acquiring eagle powers, which should make him a better fighter. Believing him, Ignacio decides to drink the yolk from these eagle eggs in readiness for their upcoming fight. And would you look at that? Even with this power boost, the duo continues to lose several matches, with Ignacio only having certain moments where you think his odds are about to change. Being humiliated once again, Ignacio tries a different way of becoming better, by attracting the attention of Ramses, the popular luchador we saw earlier, who he believes by beating will in turn give him respect, which doesn't work, but it's hilarious to watch. With Ignacio's desires becoming unbalanced as he starts caring more about being famous than what he initially thought was important, his relationships start crumbling. He attends Mass thinking to pray based on what Sister Encarnacion said, but instead of praying for forgiveness, he questions why he's unable to win, in which his robe catches on fire and his secret half is revealed.
Who? Maybe I've seen me on TV.
Being kicked from the monastery for participating in forbidden acts, Nacho returns to his final challenge, a free-for-all, with the winner getting a chance to fight the one and only Ramses. Down to the last two, with Nacho out a shot at the 10,000 pesos, he is tripped by an outsider and defeated by Silencio. With this final defeat and Nacho having nowhere to stay, he leaps for the wilderness, which is right next to a village. Nacho is then found by Steven, who reveals that Silencio was actually accidentally hurt and unable to compete with Ramses. Could it be Nacho gets another final chance to remember what he's fighting for and redeem himself as a hero to the orphans? In an inspirational final battle, as Ignacio plans to die in the ring, he faces off against Ramses, the greatest fighter to ever live, and of course, gets his ass beat. I mean, what did you expect? He didn't train at all for this fight. At least, he starts to lock in a little, delivering some hits, but ultimately landing at the same place as always. Even being unmasked for the first time. It all seems downhill before the last bit of hope. Sister Encarnacion and the orphans arrive to watch Nacho fight. This sight grants Nacho strength and unlocks his eagle powers as he manages to throw Ramses out the ring. And with a final attack, Nacho flies out the ring to put down Ramses for good. Securing the 10,000 pesos and respect, Nacho jumps in excitement. This beautiful story ends with Nacho completing his promise of buying the orphanage and taking them on a field trip. True hero. What a freaking great movie, man. Like, go watch it right now. It's super funny, and I ain't doing any justice here. I think it's an underrated Jack Black movie with the tone and humor really being attributed to Jared Hess. I truly wonder if that Minecraft movie will feel anything like this, because if it does, it's an easy 10 out of 10. Anyways, that's my video for today. Please like and subscribe, and goodbye. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time when I talk about